Okay, in this video and the next few videos, we're going to teach you about if statements. Our file is if statement, and if statements are probably the single most important thing you need to be good at in Excel. You'll see in the next few videos how many important problems we can solve with if statements. So let's start with a fairly straightforward problem. Again, learn about how if statements work by example. And basically, if statements basically let you branch and sort of look at alternatives. Like you can say, if your competitor lowers their price more than 10%, we'll lower our price 5%. Otherwise, we'll keep our price the same. So, I mean, they give you almost unlimited capability to model complex situations in your spreadsheet. So let's start with two fairly simple ones. So let's suppose we give a quantity discount to people buying a product. If they buy up to 500 units, they pay $3 per unit. Okay. If they buy between 500 and 1,200 units, they pay $2.70 per unit. If they buy between 1,200 and 2,000 units, they pay $2.30 a unit. If they buy more than 2,000 units, they pay $2 per unit. Write a formula that for any order quantity will give us the cost of basically buying that many units, and per unit cost is just cost divided by units. Well, let's take a look at this formula here. Okay, I've done range names, so cut 1 through cut 3, name column B. Price 1 through price 4, name column C. So you basically, in a straightforward fashion, you would say, if the order quantity is less than the first cutoff, you pay the first price per unit. If that's not true, check if the order quantity is less or equal to the second cutoff, then pay the second price per unit. If that's not true, check if the order quantity is less or equal to the third cutoff, and pay the third price per unit. If none of those are true, then basically you've ordered more than 2,000, you should pay the fourth price per unit. And that's what this formula does. So take a look. It says, if the order quantity is less than or equal to 500, pay the first price times what you ordered. And if that's true, the if statement stops. If it's not true, it goes on to check the next thing. So you only go on in this is called a nested if statement. You can have, like, used to be, could have only 7 ifs in a cell. I think you can have up to 256, but you'd never want that. If if statements get too complicated, you should break them up into smaller statements. But so if the price is, so order quantity is not less than or equal to the first cutoff, then you pay the first price times the order quantity. And if that's not true, you check is the order quantity less than or equal to the second cutoff, then you pay the second price times the order quantity. If that's not true, you figure out if the order quantity is less than or equal to the third cutoff, then you pay the third price times the order quantity. If none of those are true, you pay the fourth price times the order quantity, and you have one right parentheses to close out each if statement. So if you ordered 450, what happens? 450 is less or equal to 500. You stop and you pay $3 times 450. That's $13.50. So I copied that formula down. What happens if you order 900? Is 900 less or equal to 500? No. Is 900 less or equal to 1200? Yes. So you would pay 900 times 270. That's $24.30. What happens here? You ordered 1450. Is 1450 less or equal to 500? No. Is 1450 less or equal to 1200? No. Is 1450 less or equal to 2000? Yes. So then you would pay the third price, 230 times 1450. That's $33.35. What happens if you order 2100? Is 2100 less or equal to 500? No. Is 2100 less or equal to 1200? No. Is 2100 less or equal to 2000? No. You're now with the last branch, which is the fourth price, $2 times 2100, 4200. And that's the power of if statements. If you had a lot of price cutoffs, you'd probably want to do this with a VLOOKUP, but in this case, it's fine. Now, if statements can have ands, ors, and nots. So let's talk about the game of craps. We'll come back probably and talk about this in a later video. So in craps, you toss 2 dice. And let's just talk about the first dice roll, where you get the total. Craps, throw 2 dice. Get the total, which is between 2 and 12, because dice can be 1 through 6. And if the total is 2, 3, or 12 on the first roll, you lose. 7 or 11, you win. Otherwise, you keep going. And then you keep going till you throw a 7 or match the first roll. If you throw a 7 first, you lose, but don't worry about that. If that's the first roll, before you get a 7, you win. But you can write an if statement. Let's write a formula that says no matter what the toss is on the first dice, did you win, lose, or keep going? And you can do ifs with ors. And you can do ifs with ands. And or means at least one of the conditions is true, and and means more than one condition is true. They're all true. So I would do if, and I would say or, doesn't matter, if the total equals 7, comma, or the total equals 11. You need these enclosed in parentheses, separated by a comma. If that's true, I want to put the word win here. So I put that in quotes because it's text. Then I'd say if I throw a 2, or I throw a 3, or I throw a 12, then I lose. Otherwise, don't forget the last choice, keep going, like the Energizer button. Now I need 2 right parentheses there, 1 for each if. And see, that works. If I copy that down, again, if I want to show you that with formula text, if I throw a 7 or 11, then I win. So if I throw a 3, is that a 7 or 11? No. Is it a 2, 3, or 12? Yes, so you put the word lose there. What if you throw a 7? If you go down to the next row. If A6 is 7, yes it is, you put the win there. What if you throw a 9? Okay, is A7, does a 9 equal 7? No. Does 9 equal 11? No. So this is basically false. Does 9 equal 2? No. 9 equal 3? No. 9 equal 12? No. So that's false. And then you go to keep going. You can check this out with evaluate formula. Formulas, evaluate formula, it's a bit tedious, but it says, does 9 equal 7? False. 9 equal 11? False. 9 equal 12? False. So the whole thing was false. Does 9 equal 2? Does 9 equal 7? Does 9 equal 12? And then the whole thing is false. Okay, so we have all falses there. And then finally we get to keep going. Okay. Well, that's an introduction to if statements, and we'll see the power of if statements as we go through the next few videos. And actually, probably throughout all the videos, will be a smattering of videos that use if statements.
Okay, so thanks for watching, and there's a free course, a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, and all of these videos are coming from one of 3 books. So first, this one, which you can see here at the top of the screen, Microsoft's book, which has 355 reviews, and then it's, let's see, 4.6 stars. It's coming from this book as well, his marketing analytics book, which is down here, and you can sort of see 4.5, or his newest book, his analytics stories book, which is here. And with that one, you can see it's 4 point something, or maybe even 5. I don't think it's 5. Yeah, 4.8. And so, yeah, anyways, in the description, there's a free 21-day course from Dr. Winston, or you can go to excelwithwayne.com/free, and it'll be there. But again, thanks for watching, and if you have any questions, just please let us know. Thanks.